On the far reaches of the galaxy, there exists a place untouched by time and filled with mysteries that have yet to be uncovered. A place where the air is alive with the pulse of energy, where the very landscape hums with the resonating power of ancient crystals. This world, Voria, is one such place, a world so alien yet so profoundly familiar. For Finn Marlow, a special operations commander from Earth, Voria was just another assignment, until everything changed with a single encounter. Deep in the glowing forest of this unknown planet, Finn sought solace from the isolation of his military life. What he didn't expect was to find someone who would change his understanding of life, love, and the very essence of connection. Finn had long since grown accustomed to the weight of being a soldier, but the constant barrage of tactical reports and high-stakes missions had taken its toll. Voria, despite its breathtaking beauty, was another frontier to be conquered, a place that had become as familiar and suffocating as any battlefield. It was on a rare walk into the Xerian forest, a glowing maze of bioluminescent flora, that Finn's life would take an unexpected turn. The forest was alive, every tree and plant pulsing with soft light. But it wasn't the beauty that caught his attention. It was the sudden presence of something. Someone. A small figure, no more than 2 feet tall, lay unconscious beneath the glimmering undergrowth. At first, Finn thought it was some kind of strange creature. But as he approached, he saw that it was something far more remarkable. A humanoid form, delicate, with lavender skin and long flowing hair. When he reached down to examine her, his military training kicked in. His movements were swift, deliberate, and calculated as he gently scooped the tiny being into his hands. She was warm to the touch and seemed to be alive, her pulse faint but steady. As her glowing eyes fluttered open, Finn froze. For a split second, they simply stared at each other, a mixture of confusion and wonder in the air. And then she spoke. "Please, don't eat me." The words, so full of terror and innocence, broke through the tension in Finn's chest, making him laugh despite the bizarre situation. "I'm not going to eat you," he said softly, though his voice trembled with both amusement and disbelief. "I'm Finn Marlow, from Earth. What are you?" "I'm Nyra Solis," she replied, her voice still shaky. "I'm a Vrexian from here. We don't often make ourselves known to the larger species." Finn nodded, trying to process the situation. But the truth was, his mind was spinning. He was looking at a tiny alien, a being that he couldn't begin to comprehend. Yet there was something undeniably familiar in her eyes, as though they were both witnessing a moment neither could have imagined. And so it began, an unlikely partnership, an unexpected bond. Despite their clear differences, he a soldier, she an alien, Finn and Nyra found themselves forming an alliance. Her people, the Vrexians, had lived in harmony with the crystalline energy that powered their world for centuries. But recently, the balance had shifted. The Crystal Fangs, once dormant creatures of the deep caves, had become more aggressive, their attacks becoming increasingly frequent and violent. The Crystal Fangs were once peaceful, Nyra explained one evening as they sat beneath the glowing trees, their quiet conversation illuminated by the soft glow of the forest. But something has changed. The crystals, they're reacting differently. We believe it's linked to the energy fluctuations. But no one truly knows what's happening. Finn listened intently, his fingers absently tracing the outline of a crystal at his side. And what's the solution? Why not just fight back? Nyra hesitated. Our warriors are skilled, but we're too small to effectively combat them. We need help. The plea in her voice struck him more than he expected. This wasn't a simple mission. This wasn't about strategy or warfare. It was about helping those who were too small to help themselves. It was about protecting what was worth saving. I'll help you, Finn said without hesitation. His voice was steady, but there was an unfamiliar warmth in it. It wasn't the tone of a soldier offering his services. It was the voice of someone who saw something beyond the battle. We'll figure it out. As their alliance deepened, so did their connection. Finn, despite his hardened military upbringing, found himself enchanted by Nyra's intelligence and quiet strength. He was amazed by her ability to communicate with the crystal energy that surrounded them, harnessing it to heal, protect, and even communicate with the Vrexian villages. One evening, as they sat in a secluded cave, Nyra explained the ancient transformation process, a mysterious rite that allowed a Vrexian to merge with the crystal energy, temporarily increasing their size and strength. "I never imagined it could work for me," Nyra said softly, her hands brushing the smooth surface of a crystal formation. "But the elders believe it's the only way we can face the Crystal Fangs." Finn was skeptical but intrigued. The transformation was said to be temporary, lasting only as long as the crystal energy remained aligned with the individual's emotional resonance. But what really captivated him was the bond it required, the merging of two beings, connecting not just through physical strength, but through their very emotions. The moment Nyra underwent the transformation, the air seemed to crackle with energy. Her body grew, her lavender skin glowing with the power of the crystals, and in that moment she stood at his height, radiant and powerful. But there was more. Finn felt a wave of something unfamiliar. He wasn't just witnessing the change, he was feeling it. He could sense her emotions, her thoughts, even the beating of her heart as if they were his own. He began, awestruck. "You're incredible." Nyra smiled. "It's only temporary, Finn, but it's enough for now." The transformation, as Nyra had warned, wasn't permanent. To make it last, they would need to undergo the trial of twin flames, 3 grueling tests that would challenge both their physical and emotional connection. The first trial, the trial of trust, required them to navigate a labyrinth made of shifting crystal formations. Their only way forward was to synchronize their thoughts, their steps, their very emotions. Finn, though usually confident in his tactical mind, found himself relying on something far deeper than strategy. He had to trust Nyra, not just as an ally, but as someone who shared his heart. Their bond grew stronger with each step they took together, and when they reached the center of the labyrinth, their eyes met. No words were needed. They had passed the first trial, not because of their strength, but because of their connection. The second trial, the trial of harmony, was a battle against the Crystal Fangs, the very creatures that had threatened Nyra's village. The battle was fierce, but for the first time, Finn and Nyra moved as one. Every move, every strike, every pulse of crystal energy was perfectly synchronized, their bond allowing them to fight in a way neither could have achieved alone. Finally, the trial of unity tested their emotional resonance under extreme pressure. As the crystal energy surged, threatening to overwhelm them, they reached the breaking point. It was in this moment of pure vulnerability that they truly understood each other. More deeply than ever before, they were not just two beings from different worlds. They were a single entity, their emotions and thoughts intertwined. When the light finally faded, they stood victorious, not just over the Crystal Fangs, but over every doubt and fear that had separated them. Their bond had transcended all limits, and the transformation, once temporary, was now permanent. As Finn and Nyra walked hand in hand through the now peaceful Vrexian village, their love became a symbol of unity, not just between two individuals, but between two species. The trial of twin flames had not only transformed their physical selves, but it had changed their world. Their journey had begun with fear, a fear of the unknown, a fear of the other. But through trust, understanding, and love, they had created something far greater than either could have imagined. Now their story would spread across the stars, a reminder that even in a universe divided by distance, species, and fear, love could create bridges, heal wounds, and transform worlds. The tale of Finn and Nyra teaches us that overcoming fear is the first step toward understanding. Whether between different cultures or species, the true power of connection lies in our ability to trust, to listen, and to embrace our differences. True unity does not come from power alone, but from a shared emotional resonance, a willingness to meet one another as equals, and a deep understanding of one another's hearts. In a world often divided, this is the lesson that transcends all barriers. Love, in its purest form, is the most transformative force in the universe.